Gwe Ipjilida, bonjour, bienvenue, hello, and welcome once again to the beautiful Keating Millenium Center, the auxiliary arena inside the Keating Millenium Center here on the campus of St. Francis Xavier University in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. My name is Michael Petter. This is Petter Sports and Streaming through Atlantic Hockey Online, a division of AO Live, and this morning we have for you the final game of the 2024 Hockey Atlantic U18 Female Selection Camp for the summer of 2024. Before we go any further, we must take a moment to once again acknowledge that the Keating Millenium Center, the entire campus of St. Francis Xavier University, and the entire region covered by Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island all lies within the ancestral and unceded territory of Mi'kma'ki. Well, this is the final game of the selection camp, Team White and Team Black. And to show how evenly split these two teams are here at this camp, we've played 3 games so far. Team Black won game 1. Team White won game 2. Last night's game, game 3, ended up tied. So both teams come into this final game with a win and a tie. If you look at the aggregate scoring, Team Black is ahead 11-10. So all that separates these two teams is one single goal. The team that wins this game will have a little bit of bragging rights, but more importantly, the purpose of this event here this week is to allow the coaching staff and the rest of the administrative staff for Hockey Atlantic to determine who the players will be who will represent the Atlantic region at the Under-18 Women's National Championship Tournament coming up this fall. So while bragging rights may be on the line for Team White and Team Black, the bigger picture for all 44 of these players here today is to try to earn that spot, one of those spots, on that team for Team Atlantic coming up in the fall. As has been the case through the last couple of games, I will not be doing play-by-play throughout the course of the game. I will only be speaking during the stoppages in play so that when we post the game up to YouTube later, there will not be an issue with the copyright with the music, because theoretically I'll be speaking enough over the music that we won't have YouTube trying to flag it down. Taking a look at your starting goaltenders, Cicely Harnham gets the start for Team White, and down at the other end, getting the start for Team Black, Riley Partington. Team Black will defend the net to your broadcast right for the first and third periods. And here we go. Game 4 is underway here at the Keating Millenium Center Auxiliary Arena. And we're going to get our first goal of the game coming 141 into the first period. And as has been the case in all 4 of the games now, Team White gets on the board first. And I believe it is Ellie Mullins, who got the goal. And we can confirm now that yes, indeed, it was Ellie Mullins getting the first goal of the game. And Team White, as has been the case, with the first goal of the game. In fact, all 3 previous games, White had gotten the first 2 goals of each game. And the puck ends up going into the black bench for just a moment, so we'll get a stoppage with 2:23 gone here in the first period. We mentioned Team White getting the first goal of each game, and through the first 3 games, they scored the first 2 goals of each of those games. In games 1 and 2, Team Black came to tie it up at 2 apiece. Game 3 yesterday, Black made it 2-1, and then White made it 3-1 before Black ended up bringing it back to a 3-3 final tie. And with the stoppage in play and 4:10 gone here in the first period, we'll get another face-off coming up. This one will be deep in the Team Black zone after the save made by the goaltender. Far side as we're looking at it, which means the left wing side from a Team White attacking perspective. we'll get another stoppage. 12:13 remaining here, or sorry, 12:10 remaining here in the first period. And the face-off will once again be inside the black zone. Left wing side for Team White as they are on the attack. And the script continues to write itself as it has through all of the games. Team White ahead 2-0 here in the first period. And trying to get a look at the number of our goal scorer there. And I see now that the goal scored by Karel Daig. So Daig gets the goal that makes it 2-0 in favor of Team White. And now, as mentioned, all 4 games starting out the same way. All 4 games has Team White gotten the first 2 goals of the game. And in all 3 previous games, the next goal was scored by Team Black. So we'll see if that comes to pass again here this morning. And we're going to get our first penalty of the game. Roughing is the indication from our referee, and it's going to go against Team White. And it appears that it is Leah Wicks who is going to take this penalty. One thing we have yet to see in the games this week is a power play goal. Both penalty kills for Team White and Team Black have been able to execute at 100% penalty kill efficiency so far. 35 seconds gone in the penalty. Into the final 52 seconds of the power play for Team Black. And we are back to even strength. Just over 7 minutes left to go in the first period. With the save, stoppage in play, 6:21 remaining here in the first period, 2-0 for Team White. Face-off will be in the white zone to the left of the netminder. This is the fourth and final game of this weekend set. And we'll have an icing call against Team Black with 4:39 left to go here in the first period. If you haven't been watching the games so far this weekend, we will play 3 full 20-minute periods, and then we will play a 5-minute 3-on-3 regardless of whether the game is tied or not. That's part of the evaluation process, is to get a chance to see all of these players in 3-on-3 situations as well as the 5-on-5. And for the first time all weekend, we have a 3-goal margin to begin a game as Team White get their third of the first period. And I believe it was Jaylee McKinnon who got the goal. And we get a stoppage with 1:21 left to go here in the first period. Team White now leading at 3-0. And as is always my little disclaimer, in the event that there's a discrepancy between what we all know the actual score to be and what I have on the board, it's because I just haven't had a chance to press the button yet. Into the final minute of period number 1. And that will do it for the first period. White ends the opening frame with a 3-goal advantage over Team Black. We'll take a break, come back, get ready for the start of the second period in just a few minutes. You are watching the 2024 Hockey Atlantic U18 Female Selection Camp Games from the Keating Millenium Center Auxiliary Arena in Antigonish, here on Petter Sports and Streaming through Atlantic Hockey Online, a division of AO Live. Welcome back as we get ready for the start of the second period here with Team White leading Team Black by a score of 3-0 in this fourth and final game of the 2024 Hockey Atlantic Female U18 Selection Camp Series. Again, the purpose of this week is to determine the roster for Team Atlantic for the upcoming Hockey Canada U18 National Championship Tournament. The players who are selected to this team will go on to play at that event against provincial teams for British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan and Manitoba, Quebec, and 2 Ontario teams to try and keep the playing field relatively level considering population sizes in the respective provinces. And we'll get a stoppage with 1:33 gone here in the second period. With the 3 goals in the first period by Team White, they now lead the aggregate scoring 14-12 overall. Again, the previous results 6-3 for Black in Team 1, 4-2 for White in Game 2, and a 3-3 tie in Game 3 last night. We're going to get another penalty here. And this one is going to go against Team Black, it appears. So White will get their first power play of this morning's game. And the penalty going against Claire Sanford. So Team White with their first extra skater advantage of the morning. .30 seconds gone in the penalty. And we're going to get another penalty here. This one's going to be a cross-checking call. And it's going to even things up here. So we'll play 4-on-4 for 59 seconds. And then Black will get their second power play of the morning. The cross-check call going against Alara Murphy. So the face-off will stay down in the Team White end. 4-on-4, like I said, for 59 seconds of playing time. The penalty to Team Black has expired. They are now on the power play for the next 57 seconds and counting. And we'll get a stoppage. 11 seconds left in the power play. Just over 5 minutes gone here in the second period. As the face-off will be in Team White zone. Again, just 11 seconds left in the power play. Face-off to the near side as we're looking at it. Right wing side from a attacking Team Black perspective. And with just 1 second left on the clock in the penalty now, with the catch made by the goaltender, we'll get another face-off inside the white zone. The player will be coming out of the penalty box pretty much immediately off of the drop of the puck. We are back to even strength. And we'll get another stoppage. 10:57 remaining here in the second period. Not a lot of stoppages so far through nearly the first half of the period, so it's going by fairly quickly. Again, a reminder for those tuning in for the first time this weekend, at the end of the third period, regardless of the score, we will play a 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime period. And with the goaltender down in the crease, we're going to get a stoppage in play here. 9:24 remaining here in the second period. Team White still leading at 3-0. All three goals coming back in the first period of this morning's game. And again, that brings the overall aggregate score over the course of the four games to 13-11 in favor of Team White. Icing call with 7:48 remaining in the second period. What is so far a scoreless second period after we had 3 goals in the first. Most goals we had in any one period in this weekend was 4. It was the third period of the opening game. Black had 3 goals, White had 1 in that third period of game number 1 back on Thursday. And for the first time this weekend, a team has a 4-goal lead with 6:59 left to go in the second period, as White able to extend that lead. The goal coming off the stick of Ailey Glenn. And now we'll get a stoppage with 6:31 remaining here in the second period. And that goal again by Glenn, giving White now a 14-11 aggregate lead. As mentioned, the win-loss records 1-1-1 for both teams. Another stoppage, and we'll get a face-off with 5:51 now left to go in the second period. This face-off will be deep in the Team White zone, and it'll be on the near side as we're looking at it. Right wing side for Team Black, left wing side for Team White as they try to break out of their zone. And we'll get another stoppage now, 5:18 left to go here in the third period. On a completely unrelated note, if you are in Nova Scotia, be aware there is a heat warning in effect for the next several days. .446 remaining here in period number 2. And of course, the reason I bring up the heat warning and the heat wave that is expected to last much of this week, it's not something you really think about when you're sitting in a rink like we are here, but it is something definitely to be cognizant of if you're out and about. .427 remaining here in the second period. And this now brings us to the... Actually, no, it does. I was about to say something, but that would have been inaccurate, so I'm going to hang on to it. I got to deal with copyright, guys. Be careful. And we're going to have a penalty coming up here against Team Black, it appears. And it looks like it is yes, it's Claire Sanford going off. So with 1:54 left to go here in the second period, Team White will have the power play for the rest of this period and 6 seconds into the third, provided nobody scores or no other penalties get called. One minute remaining in the second period. And again, the penalty will carry over by 6 seconds into the third if there is no goal. .30 seconds remaining in the period. That will do it for period number 2. 3 goals in the first for Team White, 1 more here in the second. And so they will go into the third period carrying a 4-goal lead. At the end of 2 periods, it is Team White 4, Team Black 0. We'll be back in a few minutes for that third period. You are watching the 2024 Hockey Atlantic U18 Female Selection Camp Series from St. FX campus, the Keating Millenium Center Auxiliary Rink here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, on Petter Sports and streaming through Atlantic Hockey Online, a division of AO Live. Welcome back as we get ready for the start of the third period here between Team Black and Team White, the final game of the 2024 Hockey Atlantic U18 Female Selection Camp to determine the team that will represent the region at the National Championships coming up in the fall. White carrying a 5-second power play into the third period. That has now expired. And that's going to be an icing call 49 seconds into this third period. Again, a quick summary of how we got to this point. Game 1, Team Black with a 6-3 victory. Game 2, Team White with a 4-2 victory. That made it 8-7 in favor of Black on the total score. Game 3 was a 3-3 tie. That made it 11-10 for Team Black. And now with the 4-0 lead for Team White, that makes it 14-11 overall in favor of the lighter colored jerseys. Just over 3 minutes gone here in the third period, with Team White still leading at 4-0. Face off in Team Black's end. And we'll get a stoppage now with 3:16 gone in the third period. And the face-off down in Team White zone. And another stoppage, now 3:44 gone in the third period. So after we had a second period where there were relatively few face-offs, here in the third we've had quite a few stoppages in relatively rapid succession. So a little bit of a different feel to this period than there was in the last. And we've got a penalty coming up here. Hooking is the indication, and it's going to go against Team White. And it appears it is Audrey Poirier who is going off for that hooking penalty. So Black will have a power play here with 6:45 gone in the third period. And a chance to close the gap a little bit. And we'll get a stoppage with just under 8 minutes gone in the third period, 51 seconds remaining in the penalty to Team White. So Team Black still with the power play for another 51 seconds. Face off just outside the Team White blue line. We are back to 5-on-5. And with that stoppage, 9:30 gone here in the third period. Face-off will stay in the Team Black zone after the save. And it'll be far side as we're looking at it. Left wing for the attacking Team White, right wing for the defending Team Left. And yes, I realized what I said in the last stoppage was not exactly correct, but that's what happens from time to time. 10:03 left to go here in the third period now. Still the 4-0 scoreline. And another penalty coming up here, slashing the indication. And looking to see who's heading towards the box. It appears it is Team White's Hillary Wilkin. So Black getting another power play here with 9:37 left to go in the third period. And Black gets their first goal of the game, and it's the first power play goal we've seen here this weekend. And the goal coming off of the stick of Taylor Hunter. So Hunter makes it a 4-1 game. As there we go, 4-1. And that brings the aggregate score to 14-12. And there's a stoppage. 8:39 left to go now in the third period. And again, that goal that we just saw by Wilkin, by Hunter rather, the only power play goal that we've had in the 4 games this weekend. So penalty kill for both sides has been very, very strong. Another indication of a penalty, tripping. This one's going to go against Team Black, it appears. And it will be against Rachel Walsh. Walsh going off for the trip with 5:32 remaining here in the third period, and Team White ahead 4-1 in this game, ahead 14-12 in the 4-game total score. .59 seconds remain in the penalty. 58. and 4.5 minutes remaining in the third period. White will remain on the power play here, and we'll have an offensive zone face-off coming up to the right of the Team Black net. And now we have a power play goal for each side, as Team White has scored on the power play. .227 remaining here in the third period. 5-1 the score in favor of Team White, as they look to hold on and get their second victory of the 4-game set. As mentioned a couple times, we were 1-1-1 for both teams coming into this final game. And another penalty coming up. Tripping once again, the indication. And face-off will go all the way down to the other end, so it's going against Team White. And it looks like it is Isabel Daig going off. Or perhaps, no, Marissa Dawson, excuse me. It was hard to tell with the way the jersey was kind of scrunched up at the back there. The penalty will carry over into the overtime period if Black does not score here in the final minute and 23 of regulation. Under a minute to play in the third period. And Black does indeed score with 40.3 seconds remaining. That'll make it 5-2. And the goal coming off the stick of Emily Thomas. So that makes it 5-2. And brings us back to 5-on-5 here for the last 40.6 seconds of regulation. And the puck held on to there, or goes up and out of play, excuse me. So 7.3 seconds remaining in the third period. And the face-off will come out to neutral ice. And again, stick around. We will have the 5-minute 3-on-3 coming up at the end of regulation here. And that puck goes out of play just as the horn sounds to end the third period. So we'll have a couple minutes of break, and then we will have the extra period. 5 minutes of 3-on-3 coming up here in just a moment. I'm just going to turn off my microphone rather than having to worry about trying to talk over the music for when we put it up onto YouTube later. We don't have to then deal with the copyright issues. And here we go. 5 minutes of 3-on-3. And that'll be an offside just over halfway through the overtime period. 2:24 remaining here in the extra frame. And while we've got this quick stoppage, I just want to take a moment to thank the organizers from the Atlantic Hockey Selection Camp for having us here to do these games for you this weekend. And Team White gets another one. That one scored, I believe, by McPhee. Actually, nope, sorry, it was Audrey Poirier getting that goal. So with 82 seconds left to go, it's now 6-2. And we are into the final minute. And there's an exclamation point for Team White as Ellie Mullins gets another one. And so that will make it 7-2 with 44.8 seconds remaining. And that stoppage comes with 22.8 on the clock. May be our final stoppage in play. Again, a big thanks to everybody here for having us along for the ride. And we do get one more stoppage with 7.4 seconds left to go. And the face-off will come out to neutral ice on the near side as we get ready to wrap things up here at the 2024 selection camp. Whichever players get selected, you know they are going to represent this region incredibly well when it comes to the National Championship Tournament. And that will do it. So the final score, 7-2 in this game. Team White finishes with a record of 2 wins, a loss, and a tie. Team Black finishes with a record of 1 win, 2 losses, and a tie. Overall, the total scoring, Team White finishes with 17 goals. Team Black finishes with 13. And that will do it for the 2024 Hockey Atlantic U18 Female Selection Camp. On behalf of Petter Sports and Streaming, this is Michael Petter saying, may your skates always be sharp, may your shots always hit the top shelf. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon.